Have you ever stopped to think about what you're really eating for breakfast? Every morning, millions of people sit down to foods that feel comforting, quick, and familiar. But here's the scary truth. Some of the most common breakfast staples are quietly damaging your health, draining your energy, and setting you up for cravings the rest of the day. And the worst part? Most of us don't even realize it because these foods are marketed as healthy, energizing, or part of a balanced breakfast. That's why in this video we're counting down the top 10 breakfast foods you should avoid at all costs, starting with number 1, the absolute worst offender, and working our way up to number 10. Make sure you stay until the end, because after we expose all 10 foods, I'll share 3 healthy and delicious breakfasts you can eat instead. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, donuts. Come on, you probably saw this one coming. They look fun, they smell incredible, and they're everywhere. Coffee shops, office meetings, even gas stations, donuts are practically unavoidable in the morning. But nutritionally, they are one of the worst possible ways to start your day. Here's why. Donuts are made almost entirely of refined white flour, deep-fried oil, and sugar. That combination is the holy trinity of foods that cause blood sugar spikes, energy crashes, and long-term health problems. You bite into one, and yeah, for a few minutes you feel amazing. The glaze, the chocolate, the sprinkles, they all give you that rush of pleasure. But then, about an hour later, you crash. Hard. Here's a crazy fact. Eating just 2 donuts for breakfast is like drinking almost 3 cans of soda in terms of sugar. And that's not even counting the refined flour, which acts just like sugar in your bloodstream. Think about the last time you had donuts in the morning. Did you feel great all day? Or did you feel sluggish, drained, and hungry again before noon? That's the cycle donuts trap you in. And then there's the oil. Most donuts are fried in cheap vegetable oils like soybean or palm oil, which are high in trans fats. These fats are linked to heart disease, inflammation, and obesity. Basically, your body doesn't know what to do with them, so they wreak havoc. Here's another shocking stat. A single Boston cream donut from Dunkin' has 37 grams of sugar and 17 grams of fat. That's more sugar than 3 chocolate chip cookies and more fat than a cheeseburger. So ask yourself, would you eat cookies and a burger for breakfast? No? Then why does a donut get a free pass? And listen, I get it. Donuts are nostalgic. They remind us of Saturday mornings, of special treats, of comfort. I'm not here to tell you to never have one again. Life is about balance. But when donuts become your go-to breakfast, that's when it becomes a problem, because your body deserves fuel, not sabotage. So next time someone brings a dozen glazed donuts to the office, pause for a second. Ask yourself, do I want to start my day feeling sluggish, or do I want to actually have energy? And if you really can't resist, maybe share one with a friend instead of downing 2 on your own. Quick question for you. Be honest. What's your go-to donut flavor? Glazed, chocolate, Boston cream? Drop it in the comments. Now at number 2, let's talk about fruit juice. And this one is sneaky because unlike donuts, it pretends to be healthy. Think about it. Orange juice commercials show bright sunshine, smiling families, and phrases like part of a balanced breakfast. Apple juice is marketed as natural and refreshing. But the truth is, most fruit juice is nothing more than liquid sugar. When fruit is turned into juice, almost all the fiber is removed. And fiber is what slows down sugar absorption and keeps you full. Without fiber, juice goes straight into your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. Here's a shocking stat. A single cup of orange juice has 25 grams of sugar. That's basically the same as a can of Coke. And who stops at just 1 cup? Most of us pour a tall glass, which can be 16 ounces. That's nearly 40 grams of sugar before 9 a.m. And don't be fooled by labels like 100% juice or no sugar added. Even those are still concentrated sugar water. Your body can't tell the difference between the sugar in juice and the sugar in soda. It processes them the exact same way. Here's the sneakiest part. Many people drink juice alongside other sugary breakfast foods like cereal or pastries, so you're stacking sugar on sugar, creating the perfect recipe for an energy crash. Now, I know what you're thinking. But juice has vitamins, right? Like vitamin C? And yes, that's true. But you'd get the exact same vitamins, plus fiber, plus water, plus antioxidants, if you just ate the whole fruit instead. 1 orange will keep you full, hydrate you, and give you steady energy. 1 glass of orange juice? You'll be hungry again in 30 minutes. Let me give you an analogy. Eating an orange is like slowly pouring fuel into a fire, keeping it burning steadily. Drinking orange juice is like throwing gasoline on the fire. It burns bright for a second, then fizzles out. So tomorrow morning, try this. Instead of reaching for juice, peel an orange. Notice how much longer you stay full. Notice how you don't crash an hour later. That's the difference fiber makes. Do you drink juice every morning, or did you already give it up? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious how many of you still start your day with OJ. Number 3. Toaster pastries coming in at number 3. Toaster pastries. Pop-Tarts, strudels, you know the ones. They're marketed as quick, easy, and fun. And sure, they're convenient. 2 minutes in the toaster and you've got something warm and sweet. But let's be honest, they're basically frosted candy bars in disguise. One single pastry has about 200 calories, 15 grams of sugar, and barely any fiber or protein. But who eats just one? The packs come with 2 for a reason. Most people eat both, which means 400 calories, 30 grams of sugar, and 0 nutrients. All before your day has even started. And here's the kicker, they don't even keep you full. Because they're made of refined flour and sugar, they digest in under an hour, leaving you hungry and craving more. That's why toaster pastries are one of the biggest culprits in the snack cycle. You eat one, you crash, you grab more food, and before you know it, you've overeaten all day. The worst part? They're marketed to kids. Bright colors, fun frosting, sprinkles, fruit flavors. It's candy for breakfast, plain and simple. And when kids grow up eating Pop-Tarts, they get hooked on sugar early, which makes it harder to break the habit later in life. Here's a comparison for you. Eating 2 toaster pastries is the equivalent of eating 2 slices of frosted cake. Would you let your kid eat birthday cake for breakfast every day? Probably not. But somehow, Pop-Tarts get a pass. And let's not even get into the frosted strawberry flavor. You'd think it has fruit in it, right? Nope. The strawberry filling is mostly corn syrup, sugar, and red food dye. There's barely a trace of actual fruit. So here's the takeaway. If you're in a rush, there are better options. Overnight oats, a banana with peanut butter, even a piece of whole grain toast with avocado. Any of those will fuel you longer than a Pop-Tart ever could. Were you a Pop-Tarts kid growing up? If so, what was your favorite flavor? Let me know in the comments. Now let's move on to number 4. Cereal. And yes, this one's heartbreaking, because cereal has been the face of breakfast for decades. You walk down the cereal aisle and it's overwhelming. Bright boxes, cartoon characters, bold claims like whole grain or fortified with vitamins. But behind the marketing, most cereals are little more than sugar-coated processed carbs. Take Frosted Flakes, for example. A single serving has around 12 grams of sugar. But here's the trick. The serving size on the box is tiny, about 3/4 of a cup. When was the last time you measured your cereal? Most people pour double or even triple that without thinking. That means you could easily be starting your day with 30 grams of sugar before you even add milk. And don't think granola automatically gets a free pass. Many granolas are just as bad, loaded with honey, brown sugar, and syrups. 1 cup of store-bought granola can have 450 calories and 25 grams of sugar, more than a slice of cake. So why is this a problem? Because cereal digests fast. You get a sugar rush, and then within 2 hours, you're hungry again. That's why so many kids crash mid-morning at school. And adults aren't any different. Ever notice why you're reaching for a snack at 10:30 a.m.? Cereal is often to blame. What was your childhood favorite cereal? Lucky Charms? Cocoa Puffs? Or were you one of those kids stuck with Raisin Bran? Comment below. I'm curious which one wins the nostalgia contest. Number 5. Breakfast sausages. At number 5, we've got breakfast sausages, and look, I get it. There's something about the smell of sizzling sausage in the morning that feels cozy and comforting. But here's the harsh truth. Most breakfast sausages are processed salt and fat bombs. Just 2 little sausage links can have over 500 milligrams of sodium. To put that in perspective, that's more salt than a whole bag of potato chips. Add that to all the sodium in bread, cheese, and eggs if you're eating a sandwich, and you're already blowing past your daily limit before lunchtime. And then there's the fat. Sausages are usually made from fatty cuts of pork mixed with fillers, meaning they're high in saturated fat. That clogs your arteries and raises cholesterol. Plus, many sausages contain nitrates and preservatives linked to cancer risk. Here's a stat that might shock you. People who eat processed meats like sausage regularly have a 42% higher risk of heart disease. That's not my opinion. That's research from Harvard. And let's be real, do you ever eat just one sausage? Probably not. A serving size might say 2 links, but most people eat 4 or 5 without blinking. That means double the salt, double the fat, double the damage. So if you love sausage, I'm not saying you can never eat it again, but look for healthier alternatives like chicken or turkey sausage without nitrates. Or better yet, make your own patties with lean ground meat and spices. You'll get all the flavor without the junk. Sausage or bacon? If you could only keep one forever, which one would you pick? Let me know down below. Number 6. Store-bought smoothies. Number 6 might surprise you, store-bought smoothies. They're marketed as the ultimate health drink. Colorful, fruity, and labeled with buzzwords like immune support, energy blend, or packed with antioxidants. But the reality, most store-bought smoothies are nothing more than liquid sugar bombs. Take a look at the nutrition label on popular smoothie chains. A medium strawberry banana smoothie can have 60 grams of sugar. That's more than a milkshake. Some bottled green smoothies have even more because they sneak in fruit juice concentrates and syrups. The problem isn't the fruit itself, it's how it's processed. When you blend fruit without balancing it with fiber or protein, your blood sugar spikes sky high. And when you add in sherbet, ice cream, or sweetened yogurt, which many smoothie shops do, it's basically dessert with a healthy label slapped on it. Here's the difference between a smoothie that fuels you and one that wrecks you. Balance. A healthy smoothie should have veggies, protein, and healthy fats, not just pure fruit and sugar. So if you love smoothies, here's what you should do. Make them at home. Use spinach or kale, throw in a handful of berries, add some almond butter or chia seeds, and use unsweetened almond milk. You'll still get something sweet and delicious, but you won't be riding the sugar roller coaster all morning. Have you ever checked the sugar content on your favorite smoothie? Comment yes. At number 7, flavored yogurt. Now, this one hurts because yogurt can be one of the healthiest foods you can eat, if you pick the right kind. Plain Greek yogurt? Packed with protein, calcium, and probiotics that help your gut. But flavored yogurt? That's a trap. Most flavored yogurts are loaded with 15-20 grams of sugar per cup. That's the same as eating a candy bar. And the fruit on the bottom isn't real fruit. It's basically jam made with corn syrup and food coloring. Even worse, many flavored yogurts are marketed as low-fat or light. But when food companies remove fat, they often replace it with sugar to keep the taste. So you think you're making a healthy choice, but you're really just spooning sugar into your mouth. Buy plain yogurt and add your own fruit, honey, or nuts. You'll still get sweetness, but you'll control how much goes in. Number 8. Pancakes and waffles. Pancakes and waffles take the number 8 spot. They're weekend classics, sure, but they're also basically breakfast desserts. The batter is usually just refined flour, sugar, and milk. Then you stack them high, drown them in butter, and pour syrup all over. A standard stack of 3 pancakes with syrup has about 700 calories and 30 grams of sugar. That's worse than many fast food meals. And here's the sneaky part. Maple syrup sounds natural, but it's pure sugar. Most people pour on way more than a serving size. 1/4 of a cup of syrup? That's 50 grams of sugar on top of an already sugary meal. Now don't get me wrong, pancakes and waffles are fine as an occasional treat. But as a daily habit, they'll leave you crashing before noon. Pancakes or waffles, what's your pick? Drop your vote in the comments. Number 9, bagels. And here's the truth. They're basically giant rolls of bread. A single plain bagel has the carb equivalent of 5 slices of white bread. That means if you're eating a bagel for breakfast, you might as well be sitting down with half a loaf. And the worst part? Most bagels don't even taste that special without loads of toppings. The average plain bagel has 55-60 grams of carbohydrates and barely any protein or fiber to balance it out. When you eat that, your body breaks it down into sugar almost instantly. That's why bagels give you that same sugar rush and crash cycle we talked about with other foods. Now let's add the toppings. Cream cheese, butter, flavored spreads, or worse, those sugary cinnamon swirl versions. That one bagel easily becomes a 500-600 calorie sugar bomb. And if you're getting it from a coffee shop or bakery, some of those bagels are oversized, pushing 700-800 calories before toppings. Think about this. Would you eat a plate of spaghetti for breakfast? Probably not. But nutritionally, a bagel is about the same thing. Refined white carbs that digest fast and leave you craving more. Another issue? Bagels are deceptive. Because they're often paired with coffee or juice, they feel like a light breakfast, but in reality, they're calorie-dense without being nutrient-dense. You get a full stomach for a little while, but then you crash, and you're hungry again by 11 a.m. That's why bagels are a silent energy killer. Let's not forget sodium either. Bagels can have 500 milligrams of salt or more, before you even add cream cheese or lox. Combine that with salty toppings, and you're starting your day way over the limit. So, what's the fix? If you love bagels, there are better ways. Try whole grain or sprouted grain bagels, which digest slower and give you some fiber. Opt for a thin bagel if portion control is your struggle. And instead of loading it with cream cheese, use avocado, hummus, or scrambled eggs to balance it out with protein and healthy fats. What's your bagel topping of choice? Finally, number 10. Muffins. Blueberry, bran, oat, but don't be fooled. Most muffins are just cupcakes without frosting. The average store-bought muffin packs 400-500 calories and up to 25 grams of sugar. And that's the small size. Those jumbo muffins you find at coffee shops, they can hit 700 calories and nearly 40 grams of sugar. To put that in perspective, that's like eating a Big Mac and washing it down with half a soda for breakfast. Now, here's the sneaky thing. Muffins are marketed with words like bran, oat, or blueberry to make you think they're healthy. But look closely at the ingredients, and you'll see refined flour, sugar, vegetable oil, and artificial flavors. The fruit pieces are often just dried fruit soaked in sugar or little fruit-flavored bits made of corn syrup. Even so-called healthy bran muffins aren't as great as they seem. Sure, they may have more fiber, but they're usually still loaded with sugar and calories. That's why eating a muffin feels satisfying for about 30 minutes. Then suddenly, you're starving again. And here's a thought experiment. If you took off the paper wrapper, put frosting on top, and served it at a birthday party, would anyone know the difference between a muffin and a cupcake? Probably not. That's how similar they really are. Another problem is portion distortion. Muffins used to be small, like the size of a tennis ball. Today, most coffee shop muffins are huge, sometimes triple the size of what people ate decades ago. After all that bad news, let's talk about what you should eat. Here are 3 healthy breakfasts that will fuel your day. First up, overnight oats. Packed with fiber, protein, and healthy fats, they'll keep you full for hours. You can prep them the night before with chia seeds, almond butter, or berries, and wake up to a ready-to-eat meal that tastes amazing. Second, avocado toast on whole grain bread. It's trendy for a reason. Avocados give you healthy fats, while whole grain bread gives you long-lasting energy. Sprinkle some chili flakes or add a boiled egg on top, and you've got a nutrient-dense breakfast that actually satisfies you. And third, eggs. Eggs are one of the best ways to start your day. They're rich in protein, vitamins, and healthy fats, and they can be cooked in so many ways. Scrambled with veggies, poached on toast, or even just hard-boiled, they keep you full, stable, and energized without the sugar crash. So there you have it, the 10 breakfast foods you should avoid, and 3 easy, healthy swaps to replace them. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these foods surprised you the most? Do you still eat any of them regularly? Drop your answer in the comments below. I love hearing your stories. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.